So welcome back to, actually it's already semifinals with me, Tomáš Vlček, and
Jirka Duma.
And we have really, I mean, could we ask for more? We have Stasis, some people's favorite, against Enchantress, different group of people's favorites, but definitely both decks have their share of haters.
Oh, definitely. Well, I mean, we have just seen Stasis. I mean, we just saw as brutal it can be. But Enchantress, that's actually the deck coming from this year's LobsterCon, where Rich Shea managed to take the whole tournament with it. And I believe Jan is actually playing his list. Maybe he did some tweaks here and there, but I believe he's pretty close to the original list, including the Carpet of Flowers.
Yes, but he only has two, and there's no Xanted Swarm. So he is like, but there is something like Orim's Chant, so he is like an abeyance. So he's trying to, he's putting himself in slightly, he's trying to beat slightly different decks. Had he played the Chase list, which I thought he does, there is 3 Xanted Swarms, 3 Carpet of Flowers, which would be incredible against Stasis, right? Just play Xanted Swarm, turn to Seal of Cleansing. What are you going to do? How are you going to win this game?
Well, I guess you would have to just bounce everything and then hope for the best. Yes. But you will be definitely on the back foot.
Yes. Carpet of Flowers, absolutely incredible. Again, against Stasis.
I mean, seeing this card in Premodern, well, that means something, right? Because, I mean, it's a staple in Legacy for ages. However, it hasn't really seen any play in Premodern until recently.
Yes, we discussed it with Adam in first or second round, that it's maybe because of the dominance of Parallax Tide decks. That it does 2 things. You play against blue decks, so it's good, and when they remove your lands, you still do have like mana. And those decks, they only almost play islands. Yep. Right? Unless it's replenished, but all these mono blue, dreadnoughts, controls, whatever, they play loads of islands, so that seems very good. So who's the favorite?
Well, game 1, I would have to give it to Stasis, right? Because
Agreed.
All the juicy cards are coming from Jan's sideboard. Well, in this case, no Xanted Swarm, but namely the Carpet of Flowers, definitely. But game 1, I believe he has not much going on in here. Drawing cards with Enchantress, that actually helps the Stasis player, Martin, strategy just kill Jan with Black-Wise, right? And he doesn't really care for Jan's plan. Just, okay, draw your cards, do whatever you want. I'm just going to land my Stasis afterwards. And
I think I would like to see from Jan, I would like to see Mirror's Guile, it's fine. I'd like to see Wild Growth, probably. And, it's very much about Seal of Cleansing.
Yes,
okay?
definitely
the whole match is very much about Seal of Cleansing. So he's taking damage now, but not as many.
Just one damage, right? Because Jan was on the play with a turn 1 play. So, are we going to Seal or Enchantress?
Enchantress and Daze. Yeah, that's why I would like to see that Wild Growth, right, in the first because of this play. But still decent. Like Stasis is not coming anytime soon, and it's very much about you want to get Seal of Cleansing. You know, I remember back in the day when Tricks was the top deck. Basically, the whole game was to put 2 Seal of Cleansings into play, and then you could not lose. Because they only play 1 bounce spell, they play 1 capsize, and they could not kill you with their combo, and they couldn't win any. And there was no way how. There's no other way how to win. So I think it's very much kind of the game here, and that's very beautiful as well. Yeah. Now Chain of Vapor doesn't do it.
Yeah, he would. I mean, Martin would have to bounce the Sterling Grove first, obviously, which would probably result in.
And since Jan is able to put, it's incredible. That's going to eat counterspell if he has it.
Probably, but this is how Jan can potentially win game 1. So, what are your thoughts on Mirror's Guile over Sylvan Library? Enchantress.
I will answer right away. I just want to say I don't like that exploration play. Like I think you still want to keep some cards in hand when you get that Enchantress going. Maybe if he tries to bounce Sterling Grove, you maybe want to sack it and get something else. Maybe you want to shuffle, I don't know. But I don't like that he's not doing anything. I mean, he's in super good position, but I would really like him to add, right, that Argothian and start like burn through the cards. Okay. Anyway, just to answer your question, I think they are both obviously very, very good. Sylvan Library is almost like an Enchantress because it can allow you to draw cards. For example, in this matchup, it's possible. It's a very, very important card to have Serra Sanctum. But Mirror's Guile seems to be everybody's favorite because it's only one green. Yep. It's very good in the combo turn or in the turn when you want to go, because like it's 100% difference in price, or in cost, right? Because it's only one green.
I mean, the thing is that both Mirror's Guile and Sylvan Library, they have strong diminishing returns, right? Second copy, all it does is just drawing you extra card, right?
Yes,
from your Enchantress.
I said earlier that Mirror's Guile, if you have 2, you can have fetch lands and look on 3, put back, fetch, look on 3. So there is something, but it's not amazing. But what's powerful about it is that Serra Sanctum produces mana on turn 2, for example, right?
True.
You can't do that with Sylvan Library. So there is something about it.
And you already have plethora of 2-drops, right? Amongst seals, Enchantresses, Sterling Groves, and everything. So you're probably looking for 1-drop anyway, in between Wild Growth, Exploration.
So he passed the turn, he's drawing another 2 cards. I think that will be very interesting, this game, because there's a lot Martin has to overcome. And his only win condition is the artifact we see in play, and that does nothing as we speak. I think you need to have 5 cards in hand to take damage, right?
To take at least 1 damage.
And Jan so far has only 1. Oh, this is irrelevant. This is Ivory Tower. That's totally irrelevant in this matchup. Because even if Martin is on 60 life, once Jan gets his opalescence going, he will be swinging for 20 or 25 a turn.
Exactly. And actually with opalescence, it's interesting that Jan might use his Swords of Plowshares to kill Stasis, for example.
That's funny.
I mean, Jan doesn't have much going on, though, right? I mean, he's well set to.
Yes, he's well set.
To get
he could sacrifice Sterling Grove to get Enchantress present, but I like this better. I like this that basically his opponent's Chain of Vapor is very odd. You need like 2 of them. Yeah, it's not going to cut it. So that's a huge dominant position now for Jan. And since Martin doesn't play Morphling, what a fool! What a fool!
Sadly, nobody does. Although it's such an epic card for sure.
This is not relevant either.
Well, it's going to potentially stop a huge swing with.
But when he's going for that kill, he will use that Seal of Cleansing. Yeah, of but that was a great draw from Jan. The double Seal of Cleansing.
Do we remember how many Seal of Cleansings there were?
Oh, those opalescence.
Yeah, so no opalescence dropping. I mean, how many Seal of Cleansing does Jan play in his main deck? 3.
At least that's what the Richie was playing.
Yeah.
3. And here is Arcane Denial, so Jan will be drawing 2. I think he doesn't mind that. He only has like 2 cards in hand, so he won't be taking any damage.
There's still some action going on.
Yes. Like back in the day, I remember there was a strategy of some control players that you just counter all win cons of Enchantress and you let everything else go. And they only really play very few win cons. So it's not that Jan is out of the woods with what he has. We will have to see.
That's true, actually, right? He's probably on 3 opalescence and perhaps a single replenish.
Yes, I think so. So one win con is gone, and there's only 3 more.
Yeah, that's why you might want to wait to a single turn where you can actually just throw in. Oh, is that a good idea?
I don't like it.
Okay.
I don't like it at all.
That's what happened. Anyways, my point was that you might want to just wait to a single turn where you can really deploy all your threats in at once.
Yes, I think maybe you want to tap it out to protect. Like if your opponent has like a chain of vapor, he can protect it, and Martin was tapped out. I think that's why he did it, but I'm not very happy about it. Stasis.
Well, he was probably using that Ceres Sanctum just to. If Martin was to play Stasis now, it would be just one land tapped, right? And he probably has another Sanctum in hand. So, little consideration for the Mirror's guy right now.
Let's just pause for a moment. How cool it is that Stasis and Enchantress are in the semifinals of Czech Premodern Championship. I think it's amazing.
I mean, that's something you wouldn't expect, right?
No?
I mean, there were quite few Dreadnoughts on there, I think, in the whole meta. I mean, I haven't seen the numbers, but just based on what I managed to see out in the field.
And it seems that actually, like, Enchantress kind of plows through that Dreadnought. There is a lot of, he uses counterspell for Argothian. So he's not... No.
It's probably unnecessary. You should leave that as a cantrip, right?
I think
Once
so.
you resolve
I think so. But maybe he's a little bit worried that he might end up with too many cards in hand, that he will like play whatever, that Blackwise.
I suppose. I mean, but still, that being said, having just 2 more opalescents available, you should wait for your Enchantress to draw a bunch of cards.
But maybe Martin doesn't think this way. Maybe he has a different plan. We will see what that will be.
Okay, so some action from Martin actually.
So
so we are going for the bounce now.
Yeah, so I think the response is that you either sack it or he takes it back in hand. Maybe that's actually correct.
I guess, forces under counterspell probably, right? He might consider sacrificing land to bounce propaganda, but that doesn't really do much.
No,
right?
yes, but it's good to mention this possibility, but I don't think that really does it.
I mean, not in this scenario, but in some cases you might consider actually sacrificing land to bounce your own enchantment just to get extra enchantment for drawing cards, right?
Yeah, that's beautiful. Absolutely.
But it's probably not worth it at this point.
Yes, but I kind of like the matchup because it's like a chess. There is like it's step by step, and you closing on, or maybe like go. You're like trying to close on your opponent, whether he can like weasel the way out or not. We will see.
So we see second Chain of Vapor from Martin's side. Just bounce the Seal of Cleansing, and I believe this is the Stasis turn. Yep. Oh, it's Gush first, actually. So 2 blue floating.
There's Stasis expected. I just did not like that he destroyed that.
The Blackwise, right?
The Blackwise, because I think basically you're forcing your opponent to have 3 answers. Now he had 2 answers in Stasis, and now he can have something like obviously he has, I don't know, at least 5 cards in hand.
So I suppose we're going to see counter magic here. Yep.
Okay, now it's slipping away from Jan. I think Jan was in, I don't want to say unlosable position, I would lie, but it's very different now. I think he's probably going to lose now.
Yeah, the game definitely leaned in Martin's favor.
Yes, maybe at some point had Jan found second Sterling Road, he would just lock it. But like this, I'm not sure. The good thing for Jan is that there's no Blackwise, and often the strategy here is just to do nothing.
Yeah, but we might be staring at the game for next 10 turns without nothing really happening, but that still favors Martin more than Jan, right?
Yes.
I mean, all Martin wants to do is just stay back, tap lands here and there every turn, play his gushes, and I mean occasionally some gush until he finds.
And
Black
there
white
we
and
go.
there it is.
Yes, black white is here.
Yeah.
Black white has arrived. And yeah, I think the problem is that Martin, he only really needs like one word, one
exactly.
of any answer, and he's just golden, because Jan can't do very much.
And he already has Forsaken City, so even if he taps out completely and Jan doesn't force Martin to play Thwart or something, or Days or whatever to restart, he can keep Stasis around forever. I mean, Jan doesn't play Wasteland or Stifle or whatever to stop Forsaken City.
Nice.
Does bow.
Yeah, I think this is a little bit disappointing, because I think Stasis is the favorite, and in the game one, and Jan had actually very good draw.
Right, you're rooting for the underdog, right?
In this one, I think yes, but I think overall, I think Stasis is the favorite. Even postboard with the carpets and everything, I think still Stasis is the favorite. Stasis can counter. Yes, there is a yes.
I mean, I guess from the Stasis perspective,
basically Martin is just choosing which counter he will use.
It's your game to lose, right? Because you just, if you pick the right cards to counter, there's very little Stasis player can do.
Yeah, it's very strong was that Martin had Days. Yes, so he could counter that turn 2 Argothin.
That was important, sure. So
wonderful.
What?
Yes, I think this is it. There's nothing Jan can really do. He would need like Serra Sanctum, like another one, but
that's, so to say, just 3 mana, right? It's
yes,
just Dark Ritual, so to say.
Yeah, exploration.
So,
but it's just like.
Would you play that just to tap your forest?
No. You do it just not to have enough, not too many cards in hand. But basically, you're putting yourself more into corner, and there's no way out.
I mean, Jan is already.
Martin doesn't have to do anything for the rest of the game. He just taps Island in untap, and that's it.
Yeah, and Jan is definitely Mirror's guy locked, so to say, that he's just
yeah, that's it.
Right. And he has seen enough.
Yes, we will see how the sideboards. So what do we have here? We have a null that's definitely coming in. There is a hibernation, which can be interesting against against 40 cards. Yes.
I mean, in some scenarios, you can just simply deal so much damage with Black Vice just by playing Hibernation, right?
Yes, I think he's definitely bringing Hibernation. It's incredible. And Enchantress has nothing. They can't do anything. They need to have these Seal of Cleansings in play and to answer it. But if he plays it correctly, you play Hibernation and then you cast those two. Well, Seal of Cleansing still stays in play, but you can bounce it or something. But definitely not so good. And if we look at Jan's, there is Orim's Chant, 2 Orim's Chants, if I see it correctly, Abeyance, and 2 Aura of Silence.
Aura of Silence.
That's coming in, and obviously we discussed Carpet Flowers already.
And that's it. Yeah. So you probably trim on Sarsu Plowshares, definitely just cut all 4 of them. Or there's just 2 of them, actually. 2 of them are in the sideboard, right? Yeah.
Yes, I think you can trim on a few cards. Like I'm afraid Parallax Wave is not doing a lot.
And there's no reason for you to just keep a Opalescence Wave combo in this case, just to protect your enchantments. Actually, once you have Sterling Grove, then Parallax Wave can't really protect your enchantments, even with Opalescence on table. So yeah, that's definitely a cut.
Okay. Well, if I'm Jan, I want to just see Carpet in my opener and just go from there. He can't really counter it. Are you foiling like turn 1? So that can give me some kind of hope, breathing space. You want to cover it with like double Sterling Grove. With you can get Seal of Cleansing. I think that's how you can do it. There's Hibernation, which, as we said, is very, very strong. So, well, we will see. I still think Stasis is the favorite.
Probably so. Without Zentit Swarms around, it's gonna be tough fight.
I love Repulse.
Yes,
What a card.
That's something that you don't see very often, right? And but it is a great card overall.
Boomerang, Repulse, Propaganda. Often you don't even see it in the sideboard. And here is main deck Mana Short.
Yeah. Only single Arcane Denial. Still, we saw it quite a few times already today.
Yeah, it's very cool. Yes, very very nicely built. I like it a lot. I have to say, I just have to confess, I don't understand how this deck works, kind of, because I feel like you need Stasis. If you don't have Stasis, you do not a lot. You just like maybe countering something from turn 2. You
could make the same argument for Dreadnought, right? If you don't have Dreadnought, then
yeah, but they always have it somehow.
Yeah,
you subscribe to it, but it's something I don't understand. Like you only have like 4 impulse, really. But this previous game was so long that he was like hard casting Gush to get into it. But yeah, I'm as a by heart like control player, you want to have some redundancy, and here you just need to get specific card for it to work. Yeah.
Okay, so we are back with the stream, and our players are still shuffling. It seems maybe they're mulliganing. We shall see.
Do you think it's fair to hate on Enchantress or Stasis players?
No. Why would you do that? I mean,
Ondra from our technical team, he says yes.
No.
Especially when your name is. No.
No.
Vodka. No. Sir.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you can't hate players for playing off-meta decks. I think. I mean, that's the beauty of the format that you. Can
I mean, there's a secret,
decks.
right? If you play against Stasis, the secret is do nothing.
Exactly, right.
When they have Stasis, do nothing and let them like tap that mana, and often they really need you to cast something that they can thwart or daze or something like that. So that's kind of a little secret.
There's the thing that people actually tends to just concede too soon against Stasis quite often.
Yes, I would add as well, if you play Wasteland, try to sandbag it and not give that info that you do have Wasteland, and it can get him.
Wait for Forsaken City, exactly. And the thing is that, I mean, they might end up choking on their own Stasis. That's actually quite often what's happening.
So, Jan is starting with Forest in play.
Are we gonna see Carpet here? No. It's just.
I thought it. What was this? I don't understand.
It's just Forest Pass. No, 2 mana for Argothian.
Wow. No.
Does it?
Okay. So here's Counterspell.
So now we are.
Seal of Cleansing. Counterspell?
Probably, but there's at least a draw trigger as a consolation prize for Jan. But so far, no counterspell. So, there it is.
Here's Counterspell. And I saw Stasis in Martin's hand, so I think Stasis is coming down right now.
That depends on the rest of his hand, but might be.
I think in that case, in this specific situation, if I was Jan, I would not cast anything.
Okay, that's interesting. I mean, that
you just attack with Argothian for the good measure, and you do nothing because it's not that even he has a city, right? He needs to have land drop, and he passes the turn. Interesting.
Okay,
Orange
so Orange Chant. So
Carpet,
right?
Yes.
There's no other spell that you would protect this aggressively at this stage.
It's so cool.
So Martin pondering these options.
Yes.
Could we see mana short here?
That's yeah.
But Jan could
just play Forest there. Cast it. And then go to next phase and get 3 mana. So that's very cool. I like this. I like this a lot.
Oh my! There is mana short indeed. So does Jan have a forest or brushland or whatever? No!
Wow! What a play! What a play! So Stasis now? No.
There's just black face.
And Stasis.
Oh, so full package right there. That's a good do nothing.
Well, it has to have some drawback, right?
Yeah.
But considering how much is that card, it should be, yeah. I would expect more from it.
So,
Oh, is that end of turn?
That's end of turn.
That's
Yeah,
brutal. Brutal. I think that's probably a faster final than we have expected.
Well, I mean, Martin is, so far, he's advancing through this topic really quickly, considering his deck.
Do you think we can have like a Stasis winner?
Oh, we definitely can, based on what we are seeing right now.
Now we would lose our technical staff. He would never come again.
I mean, Vašek Lhotka would be very pleased. I mean, just considering how many Stasis players there were at this event, well, the deck is obviously getting some traction.
There's land. Yeah, I think it's... Yeah, I mean, obviously, it's clear he had it. There was even... I think he could probably play it before. I think he had it from at least like turn 2 or something. But now, again, like there's this pause. I think Martin is just deciding which counter to use.
It's very likely. But, I mean, if he has just counterspell, for example, that he would lose Stasis.
Yes. Actually, you're right. That's very important.
But there's Fort, actually. Yeah, and that's likely lights out. I mean, not just yet, but I mean, having 3 extra lands for Martin, that's 3 extra turns to pay for Stasis.
And don't forget, well, why Jan has 90 life?
Oh, I guess that's a misclick, yeah. This looks way more probable.
No, I think that's
down to 6.
Again, it's not like even that Martin has to draw anything, right? It's just like that's it.
Yep. All he needs to do is to play another. Now he's actually open for a 2 mana counter spell.
Yes.
And still playing. And that's it.
Yes. Well played from Martin. I mean, that was very convincing. Very, very convincing. So we have Stasis in the finals. So you all lost all your money. You bet on the on the finals. Like nobody saw this coming. This is like 2004 and Greece in the European Championship.
Oh, that's a very good comparison. Not many people remember that, actually.
Yes. Horrible football, but they got the job done.
Just the Stasis, right?
Don't worry, if there are any Greek friends watching this, I know this is like one of the greatest moments in your history since probably a battle of Salamina and Marathon. But in Czech Republic, we're still a little bit sad.
Yeah, the semis, it was so harsh. I mean, Rosický managed to hit the bar.
Yes, Nedved got injured. Koller, yeah, I'm sorry. This is just like
back to Magic. Right?
Teenage selves, sawing it. And yeah, it will never happen again. Like, I said just one last thing. When we played the last match in the group, we played against Germany. And we played our B team because we were already through. And we beat German first team with our B team. I mean, that's never going to happen ever in history of Czech football. Well,
we have Vašek Lhotka, our renowned Stasis player, just cheering here.
Yes, but he's such a nice guy that you even forgive him. He's playing Stasis. So.
Yeah, he's probably the only person whom you might like despite playing Stasis, right? Now, huge props to Martin for playing his games as he did.
Yes, I think he did play well. He knew what he was doing. That mana short was like brutal. That was incredible. It was like best. It was incredible. So I'm quite happy. So we have Stasis, and I'm not sure what will be the other one. Probably we'll have a short break. We'll see what it is. Where is the semifinals right now? But I think we will soon. We'll soon have the finals. I think in about 10 minutes. So don't go anywhere.
See you guys.